Vegas lights shine bright, bad boys sitting pretty. Michael, Steve, Rob running things in Sin City. Podcast blazing truth, rhyming hard and witty. Three kings on the mic, Vegas life gets gritty. Matt Michaels dropping bombs, quick wit, no filter. Sin City's own, blending gold with the silver. Steve taking notes, every word's a thriller. Rob's on the tracks, beats cold like a chiller. Bad boys a podcast, raw truth they broadcast. Speaking facts so fast, haters coming dead last. Las Vegas legends, three amigos top class. Mic in hand, setting fire, never outclassed.
There you go.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Vegas Bad Boys podcast. I am Sin City Steve, filling in for Matt Michaels. Yeah, we're doing it live, and
That's a lot of filling in.
Hey man, it is what it is. Joining me as always, Vegas Trump guy Rob Bossoleri. How you doing, Rob?
I'm okay. We had a great show yesterday at La Jolla and East Flamingo with the well, you're gonna get this reference. We are the Four Horsemen of Comedy. Myself, Lex Las Vegas, Mike Stiggs, and Khalil Mack, and we killed it. Stay tuned. We'll have more shows to come.
Which one's Paul Roma?
I don't know. Like I'm the loudmouth of the group. Now, I would have to say that if you look him up at Lex Las Vegas, that guy is definitely the Ric Flair of the group. He's got the mouth, and we each bring something unique to comedy. Mike Stiggs with his mob stories, Lex with his freestyle and rapping, myself with the impersonations, and Khalil Mack with the comedy. Although I'm funnier than all of them, but
I mean, that's debatable.
No, it's not.
And anyway, something that's not debatable, man. Let's just get into it right now. Everyone's talking about it. The internet has gone absolute ape shit. And yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, we
killed
have to.
Ron
Killings tweeted out, I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride, but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you. There's that WWE vernacular right there. Each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for the love, support, and appreciation you've given me over the years. Thank you. The thing that I love, and the reason why I chose this image, is because Merriam-Webster themselves tweeted and replied to R-Truth with the definition of the word legend. That's when you know. That's some high praise coming from, of all people, the dictionaries.
He is. I've seen him this entire journey for the last 15 years or so, as we've gone through multiple eras. R. Killings was always there. Ron Killings was always there. R-Truth. I remember him when the New Age Outlaws were no longer a thing. Who was he tagged up with?
Road Dogg.
Okay.
Diggity Dog. Right.
We've seen him with Awesome Truth. And all these people go, I remember when I decided to make a tag team with... No. He made a tag team with you, Miz.
Mm-hmm.
He made a tag team with you, Dustin Rhodes. He made a tag team with you, Jesse. He made you guys great again at a time when you guys were going through I wasn't even going for a Trump reference there. He made them great again at a time when their careers would have taken a slump otherwise. And he carried them. One of the most entertaining guys in sports entertainment, not on the main brand. Will he hopefully end up at AEW?
You know what would be great, honestly? Everybody's talked so much about how, the AEW roster is filled with ex-WWE guys. I almost want R-Truth to show up just one time and just walk into the locker room and be like, hey, and like literally reconnect with all of the old WWE people and maybe even start to call them by their WWE names and get like half of it out and then have somebody shush him or something.
Now, more than likely, light duty on TNA.
Yeah. He is a former TNA champion, though. NWA world champion.
Right. When he was a heel, too. He was not a crazy character.
Exactly.
He was a heel. He was dark. And we could go that route again, but honestly, you put him in TNA, you set him loose. The crowd goes crazy. You Joe Hendry him up. I'm going to make that a verbiage. You Joe Hendry him up the roster, back to NXT, back to WWE. I give him a year and a half.
Nice, nice. Well, you know how he is evidently looking at filling the time. Yeah, he opened up a fucking OnlyFans. I swear to God. But the best part, in true R-Truth fashion, it even says, "Welcome to my new Twitter blog." So he opened the OnlyFans and he's treating it like Twitter.
Oh my God.
And maybe if you pay your $20 a month, in about 30 days, you'll see Big Jimmy as well.
Oh God. Oh God.
But of course, R-Truth, he gave 25 years with WWE. There was obviously some time in there where he wasn't in the mix. And you mentioned his TNA run, but all told, he was somebody that came in back in 1999, dude.
Jesus.
Back in 99. So
that's the heart of the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what people forget, man. He is somebody that is so ingrained in the WWE lexicon that he is WWE for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So, now, mind you, as great as R-Truth is, and I think that he can still give a lot to the business, he's not the only one, unfortunately, that is out of a job or will be out of a job. Carlito also tweeted out that he was not going to be re-signed, saying, "My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. On top of that, WWE is demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently stealing money from the company." So obviously, that's a joke, that's a rib. But a lot of people have said that he was stealing money for appearing very, very sporadically. But yeah, also unfortunately, Valhalla, Sarah Logan, that actually dropped earlier today on Monday, June 2nd. So Sarah Logan, I'm not going to read the essay there, but yeah, she obviously was out for baby leave for a while, and yeah, now she's unemployed. So
she'll show up in like Shine or Shimmer or Women of Wrestling. Yeah. She'll make her way through maybe TNA, maybe Ring of Honor. And here's the thing. Did you see the promo I sent you that was cut by Karrion Kross?
Oh yeah.
He called it out. If you haven't seen this, Karrion Kross is basically saying that, and I think he's referring to Logan Paul, where he's basically saying, hey, look, the only reason this guy was able to get into wrestling, and God bless him, is that he already had a huge presence. But for all of the wrestlers coming up the way I did, you were not allowed to build an online presence before the WWE. They were not going to let you wrestle if you had a bigger presence outside of them. And now you're being punished for not having one. It's not fair for all those men and women in the locker room who spent all this time training and all this time trying to build a persona, only to have some guy coming off the street who already had one pre-constructed. So yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
But we watched.
They just moved the goalposts, man. That's all that it is.
They did. And here's the thing. Now what they're basically saying is you get kicked off the roster, you got to start from scratch, go online, figure out what kind of character you want to be. But that's not really guaranteed. This is why I always hated on NXT. Because the characters that were built on NXT that the fans fell in love with never saw the light of day on the main roster, which I call shenanigans.
Absolutely.
We saw this time and time and time again. Oh, remember a certain wrestler by the name of Bearcat?
As much as people would love to forget that, Keith Lee will never live that down.
In his glory, Bearcat, they did not know what to do with him. What do you mean you did not know what to do with him? You send him out. Instead of having him have these friendly feuds with Drew McIntyre, his best friend, you don't just send him out as Keith Lee. Somebody challenges him, and then he does his poses. The end. They tried to do this crap when they made Max Dupree. Who the fuck is Max Dupree? You sold me on L.A. Knight, who was another moniker from Eli Drake. They took away the gravy train. They added a different move in there. He didn't say the Kavorka as much. But then he had a fight to be himself again, and himself works.
Yeah. I definitely agree, man. And, you know, obviously, this is unfortunately the nature of the beast with pro wrestling, because it's a never-ending cycle. You know, obviously, you've got talents leaving, but you also have talents being promoted. As we saw on Raw tonight, Stephanie Vaquer called up to Raw. Jordynne Grace going to SmackDown. We'll obviously touch on what Stephanie did on Raw here in a bit.
Oh yeah.
But what's your take on these two women coming up to the main roster?
Jordynne Grace is going to do well in SmackDown because it's such a strength-heavy roster for the women. So she's going to be able to get into the ring with somebody like down the road Bianca Belair when she heals up, or Jade Cargill, or Charlotte Flair, and ragdoll them. Yeah. Even though she has her diminutive height, she will sell there. Yeah. And she does not, and I do not like sugar pop kind of gimmicks. That I like, in your face, hard hitting women. I love Matt Michaels is not here because it's not going to be a pun on every word I say, but I don't necessarily care for any other woman trying to be Tiffany Stratton right now. Yeah. There has been so much of that over the years that it's good that she's the only one that's doing that for the most part.
Right. And well, I mean, for how long though? Because Mariah May was removed from the AEW website earlier this week, which usually means someone has departed the company and is free and clear to go elsewhere. WWE sources confirm that she's expected to start there in the near future. That's from PW Insider.
And she was on Evolve, was she not?
No, that was photoshopped. That was a wonderfully photoshopped image. She was not on WWE Evolve, I should say. So she's still currently on her, as she said, a vacation. So
then I'm hoping that, see, here's another one. If you own your name, please, for fuck's sake, bring your name. I like Ricky Starks. I don't care for the name Ricky Saints, but he's from New Orleans. I get it.
Well, there were also other reasons behind that too. Obviously, on the main roster you have Zoe Stark, and
not no more.
I have two people with almost the exact same name, because while I'm not a fan of this person has to have this name, and when it's a last name and it's
AEW's got two Cassidys.
Yeah, exactly. AEW has Cassidy with a K and Cassidy with a C.
And they got rid of one, Brody, and immediately inherited another one all fucking month later.
Dude, it's crazy, isn't it? But
of which Cody called him out on it immediately, which was great.
Yeah, and said that he didn't measure up. I definitely remember that. Yep. But speaking of scary characters in AEW, Abaddon is also no longer under AEW contract. And I'll tell you this right now. She is tailor-made for TNA. I could see her going there and doing some great shit with Rosemary.
She's darker than Rosemary.
Good.
Love it. This is the thing. Like, you can't put her on WWE. No. There's no ECW anymore. The only thing left is TNA.
They do great with dark gimmicks, though. They do. Dude, DK was extremely long-running gimmick, and it was one of the better gimmicks from all of the lineage, from all of the characters involved with that stable. dude, yeah.
Now
like
you
I
could
said, she's
still,
tailor-made for them.
you could still bring her. You could still, is Crazy Steve still in the mix or floating around?
I don't believe that he's in the mix with TNA, but who's to say that with that WWE money that they don't re-sign him? So
Yeah, I would not be surprised. And that's you just touched on something that would bring her into WWE, because then she would be backdoor. You could do like what they used to do with Awesome Kong when they brought her up to the main roster at WWE for that 1 month and made her Karma, and she's just going through all the blonde bimbos and beating the crap out of them. That was a good gimmick until somehow, some way, someone decided we don't want the blonde bimbos. I want to knock up Awesome Kong. What the fuck?
Right.
I mean, God bless her. Yeah, wait a minute. You passed up fucking Undertaker's wife and went to Awesome Kong. Let me get some of that Awesome Kong pussy.
Jesus. Now, speaking of that, this past week on Dynamite, we did see an AEW debut. We all know how they love to handle them, but and again, we'll touch on the circumstances. But Tekla is now in the AEW roster and slated to make her in-ring debut at Fyter Fest on Wednesday. Any thoughts on Tekla? Obviously, the clips are out there.
Here's my thing with Tekla.
The production team fucked the debut up. It's disgusting. But once you get past that, dude, she's got a presence. She commanded that camera.
She did, but here's the thing. Can Jamie Hayter afford to take that many more losses? She's becoming the whipping girl. She was Tekla 2 years ago, and she had this great presence. She was a strong one. Now she looks like some 1960s British woman with the red hair. They try not to focus on her teeth anymore because it looks like the beginning of My Fair Lady now. Just beat. And she's getting ragdolled by everyone to the point where I no longer believe in her. That's the problem. Tekla will be good provided, but we've got Jamie Hayter gone. We've got who's the Australian one who just, no matter, Harley Cameron gone.
Well, she and Anna Jay
had a great match.
Broke their noses this week.
But
it was broken noses. Like that was the running gimmick this week between those two and Chelsea Green. Like, it was not a good day.
And let's not forget about the two women who came over from TNA to AEW and were completely swallowed up. Deonna Purrazzo gone. Where's Deonna Purrazzo? Gone. Nowhere and somebody who will never get out of TNA, Taya Valkyrie, who, wait a minute, you're going to walk into the ring with like feathers on and dress up like a Valkyrie? I've never seen that before. Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what's running through TK's head half the time with these women, man. Realistically, they have a great women's roster. They just don't know how to put it together. It's baffling.
Two women that get any realistic attention, and then Harley, and she's going to be rocking probably a oh my God, that'll be the tag thing. They'll both have goofy masks on.
Yep.
And fine. It's going to be Mercedes Motwat. Yeah, and not my words. It's the other bald guy.
Yeah.
And the only one who's done anything with it, and ironically so, because she was really secretly doing a movie this whole time, is Timeless Tony Storm.
Yeah.
Which she's probably looking at this going, oh, bloody hell, I have to do this whole gimmick for another 3 years. But dude, that's it. You've got two women. You can almost evaporate the rest of it. Unless, and I stand by this, unless with their two shows, they decide to do a women's tag team.
That, dude, they've foreshadowed that. I mean, you've got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
There's one.
And you've also got Anna Jay and Harley.
There's two.
They had a great no DQ match this past week on Dynamite, and they each had, like, each side had matching gear. So what's one of the biggest things that we always say that infuriates us about tag teams is that they don't have matching gear. And now these women have matching gear, but there's no tag team. What the fuck?
And here's the thing. They're actually doing more tag work than what WWE is doing with their women.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we don't see any tag matches at all from the women. There are no women's tag matches at all. We've said this a while ago, and that's why Sasha, Banks said, hey, why am I holding a belt and not using it? Yeah. And Trinity Fatu, a.k.a. Naomi, why am I a tag member and you're using me as enhancement talent to put somebody else over? Or, just filler matches? What the fuck? They were not wrong. No. They were not wrong.
Not wrong at all, man. Speaking of championships, and in this case, a championship that changed hands, El Hijo del Vikingo wins the AAA Mega Championship ahead of WWE Worlds Collide, beating, of all people, Alberto Del Rio, because reasons. I don't think that Alberto El Patron would have been very marketable from the WWE perspective as the AAA Mega Champion, but and of course we were kind of tipped off to this a couple of weeks ago when WWE's graphic department leaked the image that it was going to be Chad Gable versus Vikingo with the AAA Mega Championship on the line. So good one there, guys.
Good. And you know what? He had to eat it. That conversation was had. Either he said, I don't want to fucking do it, or they said, no way in hell. You're not coming back. And that's another unfortunate one. But his days of coming in a Maserati are long behind him with his own little butler ring guy, who is a great trainer, by the way.
What's that?
Great. His ring guy was is a great trainer.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Ricardo Rodriguez. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm bad on names, but I know what they do.
Yeah, no joke. Speaking of returns, oh God, I hope not. Vince McMahon launches a private investment firm called 14th and I. So the significance of that is that was the address where the original Titan Towers were back before they built the big glass structure that everybody knows. But yeah, so Vince is, dude, he's a fucking cockroach, man.
Yep.
You're never gonna get rid of this guy. So what do you think this spells for WWE or for the wrestling business as a whole, or is this just a red herring?
No, because here's the thing. It's owned by TKO now, isn't it?
No.
Who owns
what, WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, WWE is owned by TKO, but Vince McMahon created his own investment firm. So is he then going to, because we know he can't stay away from pro wrestling. Is he going to maybe create his own promotion? Because there have been rumors that he would want to buy WWE, but TKO ain't going to sell it. Plus, as a TKO stockholder, I ain't going to be selling my shares.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say about that. No one wants to get on that train.
No.
Nobody wants to get on the nostalgia train that badly, especially in light of everything that he's done, the way he's treated talent. And he's not the same Vince McMahon of 50 years ago who can go through all these territories, as there really aren't any territories anymore. There's promotions and there's minor leagues that feed into those promotions. It's a different system now. So he can't recreate that magic. He doesn't have the support of Lyndon McMahon, who helped him build what he has. He doesn't have the support of his kids. Hunter's not going to fucking help him. Stephanie's not going to help him. His son's not going to help him. Maybe. But what's he going to do? What is he going to do? Go over and try to hustle Scott D'Amore? What the fuck are you going to do? So you make a WWE adjacent brand. No one's going to give a fuck about that.
I would hope not, but you never know, man. You never know.
You know, you're not going to get great writers. You're going to do some fucking endless Mad Max fucking circus of freak show looking people who aren't really freak show guys. Like what you did to Karrion Kross when you brought him up to the main roster and put him in a fucking leather fucking Centurion outfit and the mask. Like, wait a minute. This guy was wearing like a shirt ripped open with Scarlett Bordeaux ripping on his chest, and you're like, Jesus, I don't know if I want to fuck her or him. I mean, that was the energy he had in NXT, and then you bring him to the main roster and you do that bullshit. And now,
fucking Gimp mask.
Tonight, what is he doing once again? He walks over to Sami Zayn and goes to him, what do you want from me? You've been bothering me for 2 months. Oh, wait a minute. 2 months. He was bothering AJ Styles. He's been talking to a lot of people. Why isn't he in the ring? Why is he just talking? Not even talking smack. He's being kind of pointlessly obnoxious because they have nothing for him to do. Nothing for him. And the only hot valet left in wrestling is him. Or excuse me, is Scarlett Bordeaux, and then who is that semi-forgettable one in Alpha Academy who's trying to wrestle with Natalya and form a women's tag team? Maxine Dupree. And she does nothing. She is the new Summer without the hook nose.
Shit.
That's all she is. She's
no Gonzo
Summer
here.
So you got Maxine Dupree, you've got Scarlett Bordeaux is the only one left, and Scarlett Bordeaux knows how to cut a fucking promo.
Yes, she does.
She wrestled men in TNA and sold, took beatings, looks good, looks the part, and you're not using these two people. And again tonight, what do we see? We see him here, and he's talking to, and again, why is he? Sami Zayn's arguing with him. Does that add anything to what's going on in Sami Zayn's storyline? Not a fucking thing. It doesn't move the needle either way.
Of course not.
Doesn't. If you see that interaction tonight, does not move the needle either way. All he's doing what the Street Profits were doing for a while there, when they were making them, having the two of them just sit there and recap the entire show, which was kind of degrading.
Yeah.
And it's degrading.
Yeah.
I know what the fuck I just saw. So instead of having Michael Cole recap the show, you're going to have him do it, ironically, in like some second, third, fourth person or whatever the fuck. What are we doing here? Oh, you're cock blocking, you're cock blocking him. Send him over to TNA to do hardcore matches, and then you'll remember why you grabbed him in the first place.
Exactly, man.
When he was bald.
Yeah, I think that the thing that really kind of blows my mind is that Cross is somebody that he can take chicken shit and turn it into chicken salad. He's proven that time and time and time again. The guy is not just great on in the ring, but he's great on the mic, and that. But
you're not using him like all white meat chicken breast. You're treating him like he's chicken gizzards.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not appreciated for what he can actually do. But kind of keeping things spinning here. Yeah, it came out that Hangman and Ospreay both pushed for each other to win the AEW Double or Nothing main event. So that would be like, saying, hey man, no, I found $100 on the ground. Rob, I don't want you to have that. I don't need it. I don't want it. You'll make better use of that.
Steve, I'm running down the parking lot. I'm gone. Oh, fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I just bought another pair of Jordans today. That money's gone.
Oh, shit. Dude, it's crazy though. Like I saw that and I'm like, okay, what a polar opposite to a lot of the things that we've heard about, backstage stuff, not involving these guys. These guys, have proven that they're selfless and things of that nature. But dude,
it sounds like a work.
Contrast that with some of the other shit.
Sounds like a work. We want to make the show look squeaky clean behind the scenes. Sounds like a work. Here's the thing. The reason why they don't want Will Ospreay at all in is because they don't want Texans to see what real English sounds like. They don't want to, oi, mate, oi, bruv. Nigga, what the fuck is this guy talking about right now? Ain't no nothing, bruv. I don't know. Look, it's a cowboy from Virginia which I've never seen any cowboys in Virginia. I've been
Right.
to Virginia. There's no cowboys in Virginia.
It's the millennial cowboy, man.
And now he's a baby face, like you deserve it. But 5 months ago, he was burning someone's house to the ground, and he was
burnt the shit out of someone's house, bro. And
because
sat
he
there
was
drinking a drink in one of the coldest images in recent memory.
It was
unintended.
cool. Yeah, except the house didn't have the address on the nail to it, and looked like a
movie magic, man.
Hey, one episode. Hey, man, I got you a house. That is my house from when I was a little boy. This is of great emotional significance to me, though you have never seen it before, and we put no emphasis on this. Oh, no, my house from 10 minutes ago. Oh, no.
And obviously, as we know, after Double or Nothing, it will be a Hangman Redemption. Gotta love the fan-made edit there of the Red Dead Redemption cover. And obviously, you've got, for those listening to the podcast, if you've ever seen any of the promo stuff for the video game Red Dead Redemption, you've got Hangman Adam Page at the top of the screen. You've got the Death Riders below. It's a pretty sweet edit. But again, that sets the stage for All In Texas, where we will have Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship unless the championship is not in the briefcase, which who knows, against Hangman Adam Page. And we've got Mercedes Moné going for the AEW Women's Championship against Timeless Toni Storm. What do you think?
All right. So Mercedes Moné is going to win.
Yeah.
She's going to win that, and she has to win that because as much as we like it, you can't go much further with Timeless Toni Storm. There's nothing more you can do with that character. Yeah. It's going to become stale. Now, whether or not she comes back as her original self, who knows? But Mercedes Moné needed to get the belt. She needs to get to the heights. And that will also mean that we have to see more and more of her. And then there'll have to be somebody either more obnoxious than her. But I want to see who's going to come out after she wins to spoil her fun.
That's going to be the fun of it, man. Because who knows who it's going to be. It could be this whole thing with Mariah May could end up being one hell of a swerve, no pun intended. And Mariah May could very well come out and disrupt the fun. Or it could be somebody like a Tekla. Or God only knows, man. There's a lot of time between now and July.
Excuse me! She comes out in a thong.
Oh, God.
Along with Nyla Rose.
Oh, no.
And you see Nyla's rose.
Oh, geez.
This is the best rose money could buy. And they go walk down to the ring, cellulite and all. Now, we joke, but they did. Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose did do a bikini calendar together.
Yep. Yes, they did.
Only a few years ago, you know.
Yes, they did.
You know, look. No,
hey man, there's a market. There's a market for it.
Anything. That was why there was a show called I think it was called the Professor Brothers. It was a cartoon on Adult Swim, and the principal was played by Hulk Hogan.
Oh shit!
And the gimmick was that he had a hot young little like Filipino wife, but secretly he liked old ladies. So he was always seen at the strip club with old ladies, and they're taking off their knee highs and flinging them on him, and he's just losing it.
Oh God!
It was on the website. It was from a cartoon on superdeluxe.com, and it ended up on Adult Swim. And Hulk Hogan was the principal, and he's just, Hulk Hogan loves the old grannies, and they're taking out their dentures and busting slop with him, and it's horribly animated too. It was done on purpose. There was one episode he lost his manhood, so he went to Mexico and got a botched testicle job.
Oh God!
So you could literally see like pine cones sticking out of his crotch and like all sorts of weird shit. And the mayor of the city was basically a knockoff of Macho Man.
Oh, geez. I got to check this shit out, man.
Yeah, it was really good.
I've got to check that shit out.
Yeah, it's from about 10 years ago, maybe longer.
Damn.
And they did lots of episodes. But here's the thing. The secret will be in who follows up with that. And it's going to have to be over the top, but it cannot be someone we've seen before. It's either got to be someone we haven't seen in a very long time, or somebody completely new. And it's got to be somebody with personality, because here's the thing. Toni Storm, outside of Timeless Toni Storm, was forgettable. She was a WWE nostalgia act. She got thrown into a situation where she ended up creating a character off the back of a movie that she was secretly in. So we'll find out. We'll find out. Now, with the other one, the only way it works is if Hangman Adam Page brings a crew to ringside. Don't know who that's going to be, because he's no longer in with the Elite.
Right.
None of you liked the idea that I floated, that you bring the surviving members of the Dark Order. So if you don't have so if you don't have Chubbo Uno and his 2 Long Island lackeys, I don't know how he wins this. There's no way that he wins this unless all of the good guys in the locker room, or Swerve Strickland. Maybe you could see Swerve Strickland do it, obviously, but there's still the matter of Swerve Strickland versus their new hired gun to replace the Broken Pack, who's injured every other week.
Right.
I mean, Marina Shafir is stronger than a lot of these people, you know?
Yeah.
She was doing hip tosses on Mike Bailey on Wednesday. She was ragdolling Mike Bailey. By the way,
that was a sight.
This is why I bitched about when they did it, WWE. You had Rhea Ripley. She tried to do a hip toss on Tagawa, and her eyes exploded out of her skull. She couldn't do it. They're the same height. She couldn't get him over. Even though he's doing half the work to leap into it, she still couldn't fucking do it or sell it. Not for Marina Shafir. She gave him a snap German suplex like it was goddamn nothing. I want to see the two of them in a ring.
I'm down.
You're going to have, let's do the matchup. Fair?
Yeah.
So you're going to have Hangman Adam Page, Moxley.
Yep.
You know that, our good old fashioned Cesaro, my brain went, but Claudio Castagnoli is going to come in there. So Swerve for Claudio Castagnoli.
Yep.
Marina Shafir, they're going to bring out, I would like Mike Bailey, but they're going to bring out Willow. They'll bring out Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
Mike Bailey will match up with Wheeler Yuta.
Okay.
And then who does that leave you with? Who is the new guy that they got to fill in?
Well, I mean, you could easily have Ospreay out there as well, dude.
You could do Ospreay.
You could definitely do Ospreay. One thing that I was actually thinking, instead of having Mike Bailey, would be if you're gonna do this, All In is one hell of a place for you to bring back Darby Allin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
You could bring back Darby Allin and match him up, and him be like the guy that puts it over the top.
Yeah. And you know what would make people's freaking dick shoot off their torsos? JR commentates.
Hell yeah.
Hold on now. And they got me on an IV of barbecue sauce. They said that's why I had the gastroenteritis in the first place. They took out 3 feet of inflamed barbecue dip colon, but it was worth it.
Hey man, that guy, obviously JR.
Tank.
Props to you, my man.
Fucking tank.
Congratulations for making it through that surgery. Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse, but yeah, he posted to his social media that it was a very successful surgery. So hopefully everything is well, at least for now, with JR.
Tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Put him in there at the very end. Don't know what you're going to get, but put him in there at the very end.
Have him commentate on the main event. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have JR commentate the entire show.
No.
And I'll tell you this right now, before we get to All In, bro, you know what this week is for AEW? This week they got 4 hours on Wednesday.
Yeah.
4 hours.
What am I doing on Wednesday?
Nothing else except watching AEW.
Yeah, we got the international.
Literally, it's going from 8 to midnight.
Fighter Fest, okay.
Fighter Fest. So your main event is going to be for the international championship. You have Brody King, Mascara Dorada, and Claudio Castagnoli taking on Kenny Omega in a 4-way for the international championship. You have John Moxley versus Mark Briscoe in a non-title match. Obviously, those two guys love to beat the shit out of each other, and we both know how much they love to bleed. So that's probably going to be your bloodletting match right there.
Wait a minute. You just said a bloodletting match. Look what's up next.
That's right. It's Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa against Julia Hart and Sky Blue with Mercedes on commentary. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Battle of the Lipstick Lesbians. Good God Almighty.
Hey man, we can only hope.
Mina Shirakawa and Timeless Tony Storm. Let's just 69 already in the fucking ring. Let's just do it.
Yeah, there you go.
And Sky Blue is back. Is she still possessed?
Of course.
So why not just put her in the Hounds of Hell?
You might as well. And literally, so this goes back to that women's tag team discussion. There you go. There's another tag team.
And you know what happens? You get a little bit of the old arm from there. Yeah.
Elsewhere, you've got FTR against Atlantis Jr. and Templario. So again, they're continuing the CMLL partnership. So
they have to now.
This match was actually set up on Collision. So if you didn't happen to see Collision this week, it was a pretty solid show. But FTR in a tune-up match. We're getting the in-ring debut of Tekla. She's going to be massacring somebody. God only knows who.
Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Hey, who knows, man? Who knows? Let's go. Dude, there's something about that spider walk that just, I don't know, man. Yeah. It makes me feel some kind of way.
Oh, boy.
And then elsewhere you got LFI, Mortos, Roosh, and Dralistico. There you go. Break it out. Taking on Commander, Speedball Mike Bailey, and the returning Kevin Knight, who just got done competing in the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors tournament, where, surprise, he looked great. So AEW has a great young talent there. Incidentally, Nick Wayne was the standout of the tournament. He didn't win the tournament, but he was a standout participant in that tournament and definitely made a name for himself. And then last but not least, we'll hear from the Hurt Syndicate. So again, that is 4 hours. And I might as well just throw this in here right now. Where'd I go? We're doing it live.
You're a throwing star.
Yep. There we go. Gotta love this. Anyway, I'll get that fixed, but yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Just click the opposite of stop cam on the bottom of the screen. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
All right, so we're gonna roll with this for a while.
You literally just came when you did that. Matt and Michael's face popped up.
Oh, I know. It's that's the way that this account's set up, man. So anyway, we can't get away from the guy. But regardless, the over/under this week, even though there is 4 hours of Fighter Fest, there will be over 2.5 hours of in-ring wrestling of those 4 hours, which is something that you will not find on the other show. You're lucky to get over half of the time slot, doing pro wrestling things. But
you're trying to say it'll be the opposite of Karrion Kross just walking around in the bowels of every arena they go to, interviewing people and busting their balls.
Sadly, yes. Yes. So anyway, what we'll do is, Rob, what we're going to do next is we're going to pivot and we are going to talk back with WWE Money in the Bank. So you had an opportunity to catch Raw tonight. I personally didn't catch Raw. I did happen to see the results. And obviously, I grabbed some images as far as what all went down. So tell me what you thought about Raw tonight in relation to the Money in the Bank qualifiers.
They put too much emphasis on this partnership between Sami Zayn, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. And Jey Uso is increasingly showing that he cannot cut a promo at all. It is multiple times by which you have Gunther running in to tell him why he's a loser and why he's going to take his belt back. Sami Zayn putting all of this pressure on CM Punk that if Seth Rollins wins, it's the end of the whole company. And what we're left with, there you are, what we're left with is this triple threat where they're throwing in for the fuck of it, El Grande Americano. And with all of the shenanigans going on with what Seth Rollins, I don't even think his crew has a name, they end up invariably costing the match for CM Punk, and you get El Grande Americano with the win.
And there we have it. Our men's ladder match field is set. So we've got Andrade, Seth Rollins, L.A. Knight, Solo Sikoa, Penta, and El Grande Americano. That only bears asking, Rob, who you got?
If you give it to Seth Rollins, that's too obvious. He needs to be violent. He is a feral dog. He's a wolf pack leader. Would be a great name, although I think they already made that somebody a long time ago. And so you can't have him. In fact, could you put the graphic up again?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You got Andrade. No, he is filler. Forever and a day, he's filler. Solo Sikoa would be interesting because he's the opposite type of hungry as Seth Rollins, because the whole dichotomy that he wants to run the family, but he's kind of taking the back burner to Jacob Fatu. It would be very interesting if you gave it to Solo Sikoa. Penta, no. Penta's only reason for being there is to rip the mask off of Chad Gable and reveal Chad Gable. That's his only reason for being there. Spot. Mask comes off. Oh, no. Oh. Because remember, the AAA matches are not with El Grande Americano, with Chad Gable.
That's correct.
And that will create more heat going into that. So that's what we're going to see on Saturday. They're stupid if they don't. Now, LA Knight. Maybe it would make it. Here's the cool thing about if you do it with LA Knight. Promos galore.
Oh, yeah.
Promos galore. If you do it with Solo Sikoa, it's like tension. And I love that element where he's lording this thing over his family, because now it gives you a power thing going on between him and Fatu. And that in and of itself would be great. We don't have the Guerrillas of Destiny anymore. I don't know what as a tag team. I don't know what they're both.
Yeah. I think Tangaloa is injured. So, and then they haven't figured out what the hell to do with Tama Tonga for whatever reason.
Okay, you're weird.
The guy's good. That's the thing that blows my fucking mind. Tama Tonga is a great wrestler. I genuinely, he has to be injured. And if he's not, then I don't know why he's not on TV.
Here's the thing. JC Mateo I could give two flying shits about this little fucking Samoa Joe. Now he's Hawaiian. You know, they're just dragging anybody from the Pacific Ocean straight for the Pacific Ocean. It's Samoa Light. And that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. He's not scary. They just I don't care about the guy. He doesn't talk much. Why'd you bring him? It's the same story as why'd you bring Jacob Fatu? Now Jacob Fatu, why'd you bring him? None of you like each other. I now know that all you Samoans fucking obviously hate each other. Yo, we gotta straighten Jimmy out, man. No, we gotta straighten this. Just get them all in a room. You know, have them do like Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa and just have them bust slop and get it over with.
Oh God.
You know?
I mean, you know, it is
just, you know, the most violent tossed salads anyone's ever seen before. Just, you know, just get it over with.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It's for me, predictability is good. So I see it going to Rollins for sure, with the help of all of his henchmen.
Yes, but this is going to end with those two guys going, wait a minute, why don't I get a belt? Because what did Paul Heyman do? Paul Heyman tonight went over to AJ Styles, who was in that match, said, hey there, buddy, you don't want this Money in the Bank. You want to get your belt back from Dominic Mysterio. And it's like, I see what you're trying to do here, Paul. I ain't going to fall for it, Paul. I ain't stupid, Paul. And you're like, yeah, you are. This is predictable. Him not winning was predictable. It going to Chad Gable, that was
dude, that was awesome.
Yep.
That was awesome. And, you know, whether it's El Grande Americano, whether it's Chad Gable, it doesn't matter. Whoever, you know, Chad Gable's persona is in the ring, that in itself is going to help raise the quality of this match.
Why are they being sued by Starbucks?
What?
Name infringement. Grande Americano.
Seriously? That's awesome.
Why has nobody put him on a coffee cup or something? I want a Grande Americano.
You know,
get yours at Starbucks today. Ah!
Dude, the cross promotion is insane. I don't understand why they haven't done anything with it. But on the other side, let's talk about. You mentioned violently tossing salads. There you go. There's your women's lineup. Stephanie Vaquer winning her match tonight on Raw to secure her spot in the women's ladder match. She's going to be in there against Naomi, Julia, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley. Rob, who you got?
Well, I love how they immediately put Rhea Ripley right next to her after that match in the post interview. So you could really see how small she is, because you think she's tall, the way they market her and the costuming and everything. Nope, she's little. She's got to be probably 5'4", 5'3", because I'm 5'7" and Rhea Ripley's 5'7". Yeah. Unless they were doing that thing that they're doing lately where they have some of these women wearing these high boots, like they're doing with they did it on Friday to really set what's her name apart, the champion on SmackDown. Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton.
They do this thing so she looks as tall as Charlotte, and they'll put her in high heel boots.
Yeah,
and then of course it makes Alexa Bliss look even tinier.
Exactly.
So I don't know if that's what they did, because she towered over Stephanie Vaquer, and that was obviously to set there. Oh yeah, you know, just in case you thought it's going to be a walkthrough. Vaquer, no, too new.
Yeah,
too new, and she needs to establish how she's going to cut promos.
Yep.
Because that was the whole thing. She started doing a promo in English. She transitioned into Spanish and got interrupted by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, obvious choice. You can go in all different directions with that.
Yeah.
God. Alexa Bliss. I don't want it. I want her to. She looks like she's going for a heel turn. She hasn't established what direction she is yet. I want her to go full heel. Roxanne Perez, yes, I would love that, because then she could take that back to the Judgment Day and lord it over the rest of them. So that would be fucking great. Julia, no.
Yeah.
Same problem as Stephanie Vicaire.
Yep.
Promos.
Exactly.
That's unfortunate. You got to be able to cut promos. And if you do it in Japanese, you do it in Spanish, that's fine, but figure your lane on this one.
I do have to say, Julia's promo on SmackDown with the subtitles actually was good, and her English has gotten better, much better. So it's one of those things that I still don't think she'll take the match, but I just have to point out that just being a fan of Julia for a while, watching her stuff in Stardom, her English has only gotten better over time. So
Naomi. Naomi, no.
Mhm.
No, and here's why. Naomi is a spoiler. Naomi is a filler character. Naomi, as a champion, was her gimmick, which was she dressed up in neon lights. Naomi, as a heel, has been great work, but I can already but I can also see it not going very far.
Right.
So you know that Jade Cargill is going to come out there and beat the shit out of her. Mile away. Jade Cargill's coming out there and is going to bludgeon her.
Yep.
Okay, then.
I could see her as, about ready to grab the briefcase, and Jade does this feat of strength where she topples the ladder over and sends her through tables to the outside or some shit like that. But yes, I completely agree with you there.
And also, we don't know which way Jade Cargill's going, because she gave a dirty look to Bianca Belair on Friday Night SmackDown. It was very confused. Bianca Belair was like, oh, girl, why are you looking at me like you don't even go here? Like, she gave us this feeling like, things are not cool.
Yeah.
Now, to me, the fact that they waited so long to revisit this means that Jade Cargill is still not ring ready.
Yeah.
That's all it tells me, because you've got Naomi wandering around behind the scenes. Naomi here's the thing.
I mean, Jade looked pretty decent on Friday, though.
She looks decent, but
she's not at 100%. You can definitely see that.
This is the problem. AEW did her no favors by giving her 60 squash matches. We can now say that in hindsight. And anything associated with Stokely Hathaway or Smart Mark Sterling is just a disaster, because you don't develop your chops. It's like, so can she cut promos? She could for a little while when she had her little crew of baddies. And she had Kara Hogan with her, and she had Straight From Your Mama's Kitchen, Red Velvet, and she was making them lackeys, and she was decent then. She was starting to get somewhere and starting to cut some promos, and then it kind of fell off. If she gets back to that I am money gimmick that she was doing, remember in AEW, she had money outfits and she was wearing green all the time. She kind of abandoned the Storm thing. If she can do that, she needs to be a heel. She needs to be a heel. The only way I could see that maybe working is, I'm going to go out of left field, and they already did it with Seth Rollins. Maybe she tags with Naomi.
Okay.
She tags with Naomi, and I can already see Steve going, all right, well, that's stupid, Rob. But if you think about it, Seth Rollins is teaming up with somebody who tsunami'd him 9,000 times only a half a year ago. So if you do that, you could say, okay, the reason why I did that to you is because Bianca was my friend and she kicked me to the curb. She'll do the same to you. And did not help you behind the scenes, didn't call you. They'll go the old route, and you didn't call me. You didn't do anything, as easily as I was screwed over by you replacing me. You were screwed over because look how quickly she tagged with me. Look how quickly she tagged with me. And they're never going to make Bianca a heel.
No.
It's never going to fucking happen.
No,
And,
I thought that was going to be the outcome, but yeah, I agree. It's never going to happen.
and who called it? This guy.
He
I
did.
said it over and over again. You're not going to do it because she is the John Cena for the, except she's a John Cena that everybody likes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, tonight we happen to see two Irish women who can't cut a fucking promo to save their lives.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, you know, I like Lyra Valkyria, but quirky, spunky energy. You made me angry, and I never been angry before, and now because I'm angry, I'm gonna let you have it. Why? This is ridiculous. I made you. And I'm listening to this crap, and I'm going, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
It's like goddamn nails. That's why they took the two Scottish women, made them a tag team. This way they don't have to bounce off each other doing god-awful promos.
And you can have Chelsea Green
Fill in the gaps. As only
and basically be their mouthpiece.
And how well did it? Now, where's the third Scottish chick? I don't know what happened to her. Was it Alba Fire who's missing or Isla Dawn?
No, Isla Dawn. Her non-compete is, I believe it's coming up because the Gigi Dolan's and Cora Jade is up, but they had NXT contracts. So their 30-day no-compete is over. I believe Isla Dawn probably still has 60 days left.
And I think she was the cuter of the two of those, but whatever. Whatever.
Yep.
Are either one of them is Piper Niven or fucking Alba Fire that great? And Piper Niven's good in her role.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they're both in a good role for them right now.
For now.
Yeah. For now.
For now.
We can all see the way that this is going to end up going. But in any event, just out of curiosity, Rob, who you calling for that women's match?
You got to give it to the Prodigy.
Okay, going Roxanne Perez. I know that you threw it out right at the beginning, didn't give it any kind of credence whatsoever. Alexa Bliss takes that briefcase. She takes the briefcase, especially with all the craziness that's going on right now. And I think that would lead to a lot of uncertainty. Plus, she could play up the darkness and that kind of thing. Who's to say that we don't get some kind of a crazy cash in involving, lights go out in the arena, come back up, she's cashing in, and she, hits a finishing move and gets the quick pin on somebody.
Or who is the one person who's not in that match that should be? Who would automatically assume she deserves a role in such a match?
What, Liv Morgan?
Charlotte Flair.
Well, dude, we've talked about Charlotte Flair ad nauseum on this show. Well, I refuse to give her any kind of further outs.
Now, here's why. Who's been low-key feuding with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown? Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss has been saying, you need me. This is what happens when you don't have me in your corner. This is what happens. So I could see Alexa Bliss grabs that belt. Charlotte Flair shows up. And she gets distracted. Whoop, on her face.
Okay.
Feud those two.
Nice.
Feud those two. Because right now they're both nostalgia acts, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they've only and somebody said, oh my God, they gave it to the old lady, Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss was the youngest of the lot in there. She's 33. There's like one of them's 36.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley, no. Rhea Ripley needs to have a solid feud with somebody. No on Naomi, solid feud country. If you give it to Roxanne Perez, she has something to take back to the Judgment Day.
Okay.
And lord over Liv Morgan, or Liv Morgan fucks her over. But then
that's what I was thinking, and that's why she doesn't win it. So,
but then you would have three scenarios by which there's a possibility of three different women who could come in and interrupt. So,
but speaking of fucking people over, WWE and Slim Jim extended their partnership. Slim Jim branding to be placed on the tables under the ring. And also they will be taking over the prime spot in the center of the ring. So, there's that one. We'll see how that goes. But how much do you want to bet that Michael Cole and all of your play-by-play announcers have to say, "Oh, they're getting the Slim Jim table ready"? That's what it's going to be. It's the Slim Jim table. It's not just going to be a table.
Black glasses are going on. That's how annoyed I am.
Damn.
There, long time ago in baseball, about 15 years ago, around when Spider-Man 2 came out with Tobey Maguire, Major League Baseball decided that the first base would be a logo for a movie so they could sell and cross-brand. And it was distracting the players, and it was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Table needs to be a table. A door needs to be a door. A chair needs to be a chair. I don't want to see my chair spray painted with a logo or my door or my table or my this or my that. Ring in the ring, fine. Boxing did it all the damn time. And you're going, well, this is just one step further, Rob, and it's cross-promoted. No. Macho Man 91 did not have a Slim Jim table that he threw Hulk Hogan through or anything like that, or Ultimate Warrior or wherever the fuck. My dates are not great. Doesn't matter. The point is the same. This is stupid. It's fucking dumb. Yeah. Oh, because Cole is going to have a hard-on from me here to Indiana. Oh, my God. He's bringing out the official Slim Jim table.
Product placement.
Oh, and he's gonna lean into it as only he can do. And then you're gonna, hey Cole, look at this table. Oh, look, McAfee, the Slim Jim table. Oh, boys, I've never seen a Slim Jim table this good before. I'm gonna throw up in my mouth just a little bit. And then, wait, it's the Wheatley vodka chair. It's the official Wheatley vodka chair. I like my chair shots neatly. Oh, you see what I did there?
Man. Yeah. Speaking of tables and chairs and things that happened in this particular venue, WWE NXT to run the 2300 Arena on August the 19th, a week before AEW begins their residency. Is this counter programming? Is this an old school tactic, or is this just competition, Rob?
You've got Paul Heyman on your show.
Yep.
Paul Heyman knows the value of being in Philly.
Yep.
Paul Heyman. There's a wonderful line in one of my favorite shows. Too many spinoffs, but one of my favorite shows was The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And Negan goes over to Rick, points a gun on him, and goes, all right, give me your shit. Look at that. I just put my whole dick down your mouth and you asked for seconds. Not a bad Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I'm going to work on that one.
There you go.
But that was the thing. AEW is always playing catch up. AEW looks like TNA from 15 years ago. But the one thing I will say about AEW watching on Wednesday was that the arena that they were in, these mid-sized arenas, looked fairly full.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a hard camera just at the low and hold on. Hold on. Look at the crowd here. When a wrestling arena is empty, when you can make out individual voices. If you can make out individual fucking people calling guys out, that means that fucking place is empty. If that guy's voice can carry, all right. When Edge went over there to that arena, the fucking, I forget the one that they went to in Toronto. Oh, you could hear everything.
Yeah.
And then you saw the videos that people were taking with their phones, and out of a 16,000 seat arena, they only sold 3,000 tickets.
That shit was painful, man.
It was. Now, they're doing better.
Yep.
Their storylines. It's a bunch of guys giving each other a circle jerk. That's the story right now. If you pay attention to it, what's going on? You've got MJF is sucked the dick of Bobby Lashley to get into the Hurt Syndicate. Okay. You've got Hangman Adam Page trying to make amends with Swerve Strickland. You've got the Young Bucks, who have multiple times helped Jon Moxley, even though it was not to their better interest to do so. You've got Jon Moxley barely cutting any reasonably good promos anymore because there's nothing left that he can say.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
There's nothing that he can say.
No.
You've got maybe some guy's going to come down off Mount Everest, and maybe Darby Allin will show up. But let's be realistic. If I were to put Darby Allin and Jon Moxley in any type of real fight, Darby Allin's getting his little emo ass kicked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Darby Allin is like 2 inches taller than me, 20 pounds greater than me. He's sinewy. He's fearless, but that doesn't mean anything. He's a stunt guy.
Yeah.
You've got a bunch of shit, and then you've got Mercedes Moné. I'll be polite. And Timeless Tony Storm, and it's the battle of the stale. And there's no hype going into this. And you could have made it be bruv, which no one's seen Will Ospreay win anything significant. So now he's going to go into this All In with no discernible direction. And we've got what? Less than 2 months?
Yeah, it's July the 12th. So yeah, we're right around the corner, man.
We are
just a few days after the 4th of July. So
40 days.
Yep.
And 40 days and 8 days after the 4th of July, you've only got 2 matches, and I don't give a fuck about either of them unless you do something over the top to get it off Jon Moxley. Now, would I like there to be a crowbar taken to the fucking box? I would love even if Tony Khan himself came out the end and there's no belt in there.
That's what I think the latest swerve is going to be. That's when you open the case and there's either a new championship belt inside of there, or there's no championship belt inside of there, which I think that either one of those could be a good kind of a hook for the next cycle. Because realistically, after All In, what do they have? What do they have planned?
Here's what I'm going to call. But again, what I want, it's like my job when they ask me, Robert, what type of training would be great? Is no. Product, assholes. Put product on shelves. I'll sell it. I went to him, said, well, hold on. Yeah, him. Got to reverse. And I went, hey, do you got anything in your store besides iPhones and Galaxies? Nope. But how many brands of phones are there? Lots and lots of brands of Android phones.
But that's not what sells.
Exactly.
So that's ultimately the thing, man. But yeah, like we're so close yet so far. I mean, they have 2 of these 4-hour shows, one this coming week and then one the week after because of the NHL playoffs. And then I think you're going to start to see them put together, the all-in card. It's not going to take shape for at least 2, maybe even 3 weeks. And then hopefully we can get a month of solid build because, yeah, like I said, it's, the second week of July is when that show is. So, but
here's my thing.
Yeah.
If you go the route that the box is empty and you have to fight another month and have revision matches with Jon Moxley to find out where the belt is. Yep. Now you're doing the Cena gimmick that he was there to ruin wrestling. He didn't say it explicitly or implicitly. He didn't say it implicitly that I'm here to ruin wrestling, but there's no belt.
Right.
And Tony Khan is running. See, this is the thing, Tony. I'll speak to you right now. You're running a company. Kayfabe, Vince McMahon would never let the belt out of his sight because it's his belt. It's your belt. It's your promotion. Not Chad's, it's yours. So the fact that you don't seem to give a shit where your belt is, and we've watched, 5 months worth of main event matches where no belt is presented?
Exactly.
When a main event happens, regardless of who is in control of the belt is surrendered back to the promotion
Yep.
because for that point in time, it is not your belt.
Correct.
It's like I'm going to go nerdy now, or not even nerdy. It's like in military. You're the captain of the ship. I was going to use a Star Trek reference, but it's just same in the military. You're the captain of the ship. It's your ship in that it's been gifted to you, given to you, granted to you in recognition of your ability, but you do not own that ship. Now, we know they own the belt and they get the plates and there's a belt that's on a mantle in Ohio. But kayfabe, that belt is surrendered to the ref who's you're putting it on the line. You never put the belt on the line, ever. You had matches, but you never put the belt on the line. And we never got a satisfying answer as to why it was held, except that you just don't want people to have it, which was lame.
Yeah.
It was lame. In other words, you started off with something and you didn't quite understand where you were going to take the story.
Yeah.
I could see that you didn't know where it was going to go. And now the only thing you could think to do was to just drag it out and to make it mean more when you lost. The opposite of Cody winning is we're going to get that pop off seeing you lose, but because it's going to go into the hands of somebody who was a boring title holder the last time.
Yeah.
Hangman Adam Page wasn't a good champion. He is a guy who is, I didn't even care that he chased. I didn't care about his chases for the belt.
I do have to say, this time around, he's definitely more of a compelling character than the first time around. So I have no problem with that.
Not yet, he's not. And I'll tell you what I mean by that.
Okay. All right. I personally, I feel differently than you, but that's the beauty of professional wrestling, and that's why this is all subjective.
The crowd bestowed upon him forgiveness before he even asked for it. Yeah. They were saying you deserve it based on what? He didn't go full baby face. He didn't do anything. He waited it out a couple of weeks and it went. And by the way, what was his last major event? He beat the living shit out of his best friend. Their ring general, Chris. The fallen angel.
Oh, Christopher Daniels.
Daniels. Sorry, brain fart. But that was his last major thing. He ended Christopher Daniels' career.
Yeah,
bloodied him up horribly. And the only thing from that point to now is what? From that point to now, he has done nothing discernible, deserving of any respect.
Yeah.
So he beat Christopher Daniels to a bloody pulp, had nothing to show for it, which they did make a story. Hey, you have nothing to show for this now, and I'm supposed to fall in love with this character again?
Right.
Okay. No, I'm not necessarily in love with this character. I'm also a little leery about not seeing Prince Nana that much as of late.
Yeah.
That also
he got his ass beat in the Anarchy match. So, he got kind of roughed up a little bit.
Yeah.
So. I get that, but it is what it is, my friend. But
I don't know. I will leave it with this. I don't think he is going to be a ring general. I don't think he's going to bring the baby faces together, which is what you would kind of need to do. When The Rock would beat Triple H, Rock would go in the ring, and the entire roster was around the ring with him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're not going to get that with Hangman Adam Page. It's going to be a short title run.
Yep. Well, we'll see. But let's check out and see what's going on social media. All right, so up next, a couple things. Today is actually a pretty interesting day in professional wrestling. June 2nd, 2014, the Shield officially broken up. There was always a plan B. So, yeah, it's hard to believe 11 years ago to the day is where we are right now. And then yeah, interesting stuff, dude.
When they were at their height, they could have given them each a belt. It would have been fucking incredible. Nope.
Yeah. And speaking of belts and people that don't have them anymore, the IWC has a lot of questions as WWE stars seemingly cleanse their social timelines. The Miz and Gunther removed all mentions of WWE from their respective social media accounts over the last couple of days as well. Any kind of thought on that? Just kind of quick.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell does that mean?
I mean, the only thing that I can figure is maybe the Gunther thing has something to do with the kayfabe storyline with with Pat McAfee and the stuff that he recently got suspended and all that kind of stuff.
Or
maybe Miz is fallout from R-Truth.
Yeah. And maybe Gunther wants to do an historical recreation of his grandfather's experience during World War II and start posting some information about what really happened.
Oh, shit. Trutherism, if you will. And
my grandfather was a freedom fighter.
Speaking of freedom fighters, Tennille Dashwood is now an American citizen. She posted to her timeline. So congratulations to Tennille Dashwood. And, immigration's a pretty interesting thing. I don't know if somebody might have something to say about that.
Tennille wants to dash my wood. We let these people in from these horrible places. She wasn't vetted. We believe she's a Kiwi or some sort of Australian. They bring big spiders. They bring animals that carry other animals. And they bring syphilis, okay? The koalas has syphilis in them, okay? This is really bad stuff. This is really bad stuff. We got to get these people out of here, okay? You know what? I hear they have dollars in Australia, but for every $1 American dollar, you get 5 Australian peso dollars, okay? They call it the peso dollar, and that's what Tennille Dashwood brings to this country. It's so sad what they've allowed to come into this country. It's so sad that they're doing this. And it's happening at rates like never seen before, that these Australian wrestlers and now Mexican wrestlers. I told Linda, I said, you were supposed to help me. She brought in all of these luchadors, okay? You know what that stands for, luchadors, right, Steve? That stands for freedom fighters. They're going to be bringing in Mexican freedom fighters, guerrillas. And these are going to be bringing. These are people coming straight out of insane asylums, okay? Right out of insane asylums. La Parca came from an insane asylum, okay? Okay, they got this guy, Vikingo, okay? That's not even English. It's not even a word. It's Viking. They call that. That's how you say Viking. You say they don't even know how to speak English. They're coming to this country. They have Stephanie McCare. She spoke 2 words in English. She was reading a teleprompter. She was reading, and it was an Univision teleprompter. Okay, and by the way, not how you say it. It's called eye vision. Okay, eye vision. It's so terrible. We got to get these Mexican wrestlers and these Australian wrestlers the hell out of this country, because this is a big problem. It's going to be a huge problem. Brought to you by the lamestream Sleepy Joe Brand administration. It's a very crooked administration, but my Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, we've got to educate these kids. They've got to learn English. So sad.
Anyway, jumping back into the social media, I found this one to be pretty interesting. Of all people, Ridge Holland posted to his social media about his birthday. And yes, Austin Creed wished him a happy birthday, saying that he hopes that it's the best one yet. If you know, you know. And of course, Sami Zayn pipes in with, "Dear God." Obviously, Ridge Holland being the man that dropped Big E on his head and broke his neck and ended his career.
Ah, Jesus.
So living the gimmick is Austin Creed, Xavier Woods. But, this is a gimmick that I wouldn't mind living. And that was the boat party, the yacht party that Natalya had for her birthday. Rhea Ripley loves a good headlock, and showing off the leg art there. And back there, hidden way in the back with the heart covering her face of all people is Liv Morgan. So evidently she didn't want to be seen with that. Elsewhere on the boat, it was Scarlett, Maxine, and Tiffy time.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the amount of loads that were just blown. I love the spectacle. Oh my God.
Right?
No, fuck that one. I mean, that was great, but then Jesus.
Yeah, buddy.
Jeez Louise. Oh my God. I don't even know where to begin with that. Is Maxine single? Because the other two have guys that one of them lives nearby here and he can kick the shit out of me. The other one's in like, Germany. So I'm not worried about that. I might, be daring, but,
I believe Maxine is married or very close to it, but
could he kick my ass?
Well,
hold on. Let's Google this.
Let's ask.
They held back on a lot of what they could do.
Hold on. She is not listed as married.
Oh, there you go.
She's 28. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait. Oh no. Wait. Anthony Luke, engaged.
Yep.
Let's see if I can kick his ass. Oh, Jesus, dear God, no. No, he's not a wrestler.
He's gonna whoop your ass.
Future greats. Christ sakes, this guy looks like fucking brick shit. Never mind. And also looking at this guy, unless he's taken lots of roids and shrunk the goods, she's probably windsock at this point.
Well,
never mind.
Hello.
Never mind.
Well, let's get your mind off of that. Let's start wrapping it up and get some final thoughts, Rob. Where are you performing this week? What are you doing? What
My
kind of
final thoughts are I'm going to need a new nut. Jesus. C3 this week. We're going to be at C3 on Thursday, supporting my good friend Mike Stiggs on Thursday. You might get to see me there. That is on Sahara and cross streets. I'm so bad at cross streets. Look up C3, fucking bad.
C3.
And then on Tuesdays, soon we will be at Stuff My Turkey at 9 p.m.
Stuff My Turkey, huh?
Yeah, Stuff My Turkey. The name is as it suggests. So look for me at those two places tonight. Do I go out tonight? Yeah, I might go out tonight. I might go out to Quads. So look for me at Quads in about a half an hour. Maybe I'll head over there.
Hell yeah, man. And just really quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out. Thank you for listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. And also very special thank you to all the brave men and women serving this country, whether you're doing it on lands foreign or domestic. Thank you for doing what you do so that we can do what we love to do. And last but not least, repsport.com. What's that?
PP.
REPP sports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout. Save yourself 10%. Holy shit, Rob, we made it through.
Yeah. Oh, and there was one thing I wanted to promote. We had an incredible show with the Vegas Four Horsemen of Comedy. And if you want to see how that show went, we actually have the entire show on my page, right? Nice. It's on my page, which is Vegas Trump Guy on Instagram. You can see the whole thing.
There you go. Rob Basaleri at Vegas Trump Guy. I am Sin City Steve. And like I said, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. And we're going to be doing this shit next week. And we'll be back here same time, same place. And until then.
Did any of you have a great time tonight? Yeah!
With that, everybody, thank you for hanging out. We'll do it all again next week. Till then, happy wrestling.
Rolling up the strip under neon lights. Podcast mic is glowing in the desert night. Matt and Michael's leading with the swagger tight. Sin City Steve right by your side. Alright. Rob Larry dropping truths, no fear. Broadcasting stories, make it loud and clear. from the Fremont edges to the Bellagio sphere. These bad boys rule, let me make that clear. Vegas bad boys, tearing up the scene.
To Matt Michaels and the Vegas Boys of Podcasting, this is John Cena saying thank you so much